Welcome to the Luca Lifestyle, your guide to understanding health, food, and fad diets, with a little sprinkling of self-love and body acceptance thrown in on top. Now, my name is Madeline and I've been studying health and nutrition at university for years, and along the way have picked up a bachelor's degree in health sciences as well as a master's in nutrition and dietetics. I also have an extensive history with working on social media. I run now 3 YouTube channels, as well as 2 websites, 5 Instagrams I believe, and 2 TikTok accounts. Essentially, my goal with this channel is to use my social media skills to share my nutrition knowledge with the world for free, so that anyone who has access to the internet and who either speaks English or knows how to turn on the caption translations here on YouTube will be able to access easy to understand and engaging information on health and nutrition. Most importantly, I'm not just another influencer here to make money for a sponsor by selling you a pill or diet plan. I will only be sharing with you knowledge that I've learned through my university studies or through extended research in peer-reviewed journal articles or university-grade textbooks. With that said, I'll be sharing scientific-backed and engaging information through my YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok accounts, simplified into the easiest to understand way possible. If at any point through watching my videos you have further questions, of course leave them in the comments down below and I'll be sure to answer them as soon as possible. But if you would like to deep dive into any of these concepts a little bit further, I will also leave my website, thelucalifestyle.com, in the description box below. So head over there to find exclusive ebooks as well as a few meal plans developed by a dietitian that are not only designed for weight loss or a health kick, but that actually meet your daily requirements. And if you have specific health needs that can't necessarily be answered in a general video format, then my website also has a link to sign up for a one-on-one consultation with me, virtually of course, where I can unpack some of your specific health needs and give you more targeted advice. Finally, if you like what you see in today's video, be sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'll be posting new videos here every Monday. Now let's talk all about the power of food. When planning out these videos, I thought what better place to start than the top. There are so many myths surrounding food, but I feel like the one that either gets blatantly said the most or is implied the most is that food is the enemy. And that's just simply not the case. But how many times have you read a health magazine or heard a morning show host discuss the new nutrition breakthrough, whereby one food group, meal, or eating pattern is suddenly the new big cure to everything just about, and another style is suddenly out, is wrong, it is bad, how dare you, don't do it anymore. Not only are these claims usually untrue and founded in flimsy, if any, actual science, but they're also leading to a warped perception of food and health and make it even more challenging to navigate through conflicting health advice. Not to mention that over time, this can lead to anxiety around meal times, body shame, and developing unhealthy eating behaviors. So, if food isn't the enemy, then what is it? Food is one of the only things in this world that we truly need. That is, cannot live without. Food gives us energy, and not in the form of coffee or energy drinks, but real wholesome energy that we need to simply live. This energy is called calories, or in Australia and other countries around the world who use the metric system, kilojoules. Now next week I'll break down the differences and conversions and all of that, so stay tuned for the next episode if you are interested. But the nutrients within our foods are either classified as macronutrients or micronutrients. Macronutrients, or macros as they are commonly called, are proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. And all 3 are essential parts of the human diet. Proteins, amongst other things, are used to keep muscles strong. Carbohydrates, especially the building blocks of carbohydrates, glucose, are the preferred energy source of our brains. And fats play an important role in hormone levels. But I will break down each of these into a lot more detail in future episodes to come. So now is a great time to subscribe and turn on notifications if you want to make sure you don't miss out. Now, when it comes to micronutrients, these are simply nutrients that we need in small amounts. Calcium is a great example of a well-known micronutrient that is essential for building and maintaining strong bones, as well as plenty of other functions around the body. So what this all means is that food is essential for bones, muscles, our brain, and just about everything in between. Without food, we will not have the energy we need to walk, run, play, or even blink. Without food, humans will die. But aside from the need for survival, food also plays a huge role in our social lives, cultures, and everyday pleasures. Many people associate mealtimes with spending time with their friends and family, especially around the holidays. Food is also an important part of celebrating birthdays, promotions, and even the end of the work week. On top of this, food plays a huge role in celebrating culture. A trip to Italy, for example, is nothing without tasting local pasta and pizza. Mexican street food is spicy and delicious. My personal favorite, Thai food, is renowned for being light and fresh and yet full of flavor. Aussies love their barbecues, the Uruguayans love their milanesa, and the Germans have schnitzels and beer. I could keep going on for another 10 minutes, but I'm sure you get the idea. Each country or culture has their own specialty when it comes to foods, including the ingredients, cooking style, and rituals surrounding meal preparation. And this can be something that even 3, 4, or 5 generations down the line stays with the person, regardless of where they move in the world, because it has become a part of who they are as a person. And on top of this all, food is designed to be delicious and fun. In a world where there are so many possibilities, where plants can taste like meat, cakes can be shaped like miniature cars, and milk comes from so many different sources these days that you really have to specify what you're after. And particularly for those of us with the luxury of time to sit and watch this video, I'm sure we're not out there hunting and gathering in the woods for whatever we can find simply to survive. We eat foods that we love, and this is how it should be. Of course, I'll be the first to say that Western countries, and increasingly non-Western countries as well, could really benefit from eating less processed foods and a whole lot more fresh fruit and vegetables. But labeling food as some kind of enemy here to undo all your hard work of exercising is simply not the answer. It's time to talk briefly about diets. Love them or hate them. When it comes to labeling foods as good or bad, most dietitians will agree that this is actually an unhelpful concept that can lead to more harm than good. Now, the study of dietetics, for those of you who aren't aware, is the understanding of food and nutrition and how this relates to not only the healthy person, but also in preventing and managing diseases. Now, bad foods are commonly thought of as lollies, chocolates, sugary, salty, fatty, processed, fast foods. Typically known as, I guess, probably junk foods. These are often labeled as bad. However, along the way, a lot of other foods also get lumped into this bad food category when they maybe didn't need to be. And while sure, some of these foods are definitely not the healthiest options, labeling them as bad tends to just attach a feeling of guilt to the desire to consume them. And studies have shown that in both children and adults, having a food labeled as bad or forbidden actually leads to an increase in the desire to consume it. So instead of labeling foods as bad, dietitians, at least in Australia, will often refer to foods as discretionary choices, or when talking to children, a sometimes food. Now, these foods are perfectly fine for most healthy, disease-free people, I will note, to consume on occasions and even up to 2 servings a day, but should not make up the bulk of what a person is consuming that day, week, or in their lifetime. Now, when it comes to good foods, these can be equally as misleading, as everyone these days seems to have their own opinion on what classifies as a good food and what does not. For example, some people will classify onions and garlics as a bad food because they themselves might experience a small reaction or feel bloated when consuming them. Whereas to someone else who does not experience the same problem, onion and garlic are simply vegetables. They are also a great way to add a whole lot of flavor to any meal without adding too many unnecessary additives like sugar, salt, or fats. Similarly, foods containing gluten or wheat often get a bad name, where they're actually perfectly safe and healthy to consume for anyone who is not a celiac or who is not gluten intolerant. Now, this concept of mislabeling foods is potentially a idea for a whole separate video. So if you would like to hear me break down fad diets, superfoods, or other conflicting health trends, then please let me know in the comments below and I will add it to my list. On the whole, most dietitians would agree that if there was a good food, it would be fresh fruits and vegetables, and most people around the world could really do with eating a few more of them each day. But again, there is really no one size fits all treatment when it comes to diet. As I mentioned briefly earlier, dietitians are not only trained in providing one-on-one diets for healthy individuals, but also in prescribing diets to help manage and prevent lifestyle diseases such as diabetes, digestive issues, kidney disease, and some cancers. There is a lot of power in food in helping to prevent some of these diseases from developing in the first place. And again, while no disease and no two people are the same, increasing consumption of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, fiber, and minimizing the consumption of alcohol, sugar sweetened drinks, fast food, anything highly processed, including processed meats, seems to be beneficial in most cases. So, do you still think food is the enemy? Because I hope not. Because once again, without the nutrients and energy that we gain from eating whole foods, we wouldn't have the energy to sit up and plug in our phones, or to walk in the sunshine, or run around after our children or our pets, or swim in the ocean. Food is in every part of our lives, and learning to love and appreciate food for all that it does for us, and hopefully remove some of the guilt that media and society at large have ingrained in us over the years, will help to improve not only your health, but every aspect of your life. And if done correctly, can help you to live the best and longest life that you can. Remember that if you liked today's video and you do want to see more like this, please give this video a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to the channel to see more. I'll be posting new videos every single Monday. Next week's video is going to be all about calories, kilojoules, what the difference is, how to convert between them, and how to calculate your own energy requirements. So make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss out. Now that's it from me for today. All social media accounts are at the Luca Lifestyle and will be linked in the description box down below, so go check them out if you are interested. And remember that health is not a diet, it's a lifestyle.